Well, hello, everyone, and allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lisa, and welcome to another edition of the Book and Banter Society. And on this episode, I'll be talking about the new movie, The Fantastic Four First Steps, rated PG 13, with a running time of 1 hour and 55 minutes. But before I start running my mouth, I have to do a disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Book and Banter Society are my opinions and my opinions alone. I am not a professional movie critic or anything of that nature. I just like to watch movies and just give you my take on them. And like I said before, things I may say, movies or books I may talk about, they may trigger you. Some of the things may feature violence, gore, certain dialogue that may be offensive. I'm just letting you know that you have been warned. However, I do not go out of my way to offend anyone. And one more thing before the fun begins. I have to do a spoiler warning. Now, I'm not going to tell you the end of this movie, but I'm really going to tell you just about everything else. So, I don't know, you may want to plug your ears or you may want to listen to this after you watch the movie. Just letting you know, I'm not going to tell you the ending, but I'm going to tell you probably everything else. So, with that, on with the show. The Fantastic Four was first published on November the 1st, 1961. The writer was Stan Lee, and the penciler was Jack Kirby. And little did they know that they were going to make history. So let's see, who are the Fantastic Four? Let's check them out one by one. Reed Richards is Mr. Fantastic. Wow, what a name, right? Whoa, Reed is way better than 007. Let me tell you why. Reed is a scientist, an astronaut, and an inventor. Word on the street is he is the smartest man on earth. Now, Reed was born in Central City, California, to a wealthy physicist. He was also a child prodigy. Unfortunately, his mom died when he was 7, and he entered college at the age of 14. And during that time, he attended the California Institute of Technology, usually called Caltech, and he attended Harvard as well. And while he was working on his fifth degree, yes, his fifth degree in New York, he became roommates with a former high school football player named Ben. And he tells Ben, he's like, you know what, Ben, I want to build a starship. I want to build it for travel. And Ben says, you know what? Count me in. And little did they both know it would change their lives forever. Sue Storm is the Invisible Woman. Now, let's talk about Susan Storm. I'm telling you, these backstories are interesting. And Sue, I'm like, wow, this is almost like an episode of Good Times. But let's get started. Now, Susan Storm, she has a younger brother named Jonathan, and both of them grew up on Long Island. And they are the children of a doctor by the name of Franklin Storm, and their mom's name is Mary. Now, here's where tragedy strikes. Now, Sue and her brother, they're at home, I don't know, relaxing, kicking it, whatever, while her parents go out to a dinner ceremony because their father is going to be honored. But on the way to the dinner, a tire blew out and their mom was injured. And of course, their dad, being a doctor, is like, "Oh, I can operate on my wife." Well, the operation was unsuccessful and the mom died. It's like, oh my God. The next thing you know, their dad spiraled out of control. He became an alcoholic. Not only an alcoholic, he became a gambler, you guys. And he lost his entire medical practice. And it gets worse, you guys. He accidentally killed a loan shark. It's like, what? And then when it came time to come to court, the dad didn't even bother to defend himself. He was just still feeling just so much guilt over the death of his wife. He's just like, hey, it is what it is. It's like, what? So, guess what? Dad goes to prison. So, now that dad's in prison, Susan has to become the mother figure for her younger brother. So, the next thing you know, she's living with her aunt. And at the age of 17, she meets her future husband, Mr. Fantastic himself, Reed Richards, because at that particular time he was a house guest because he was attending college and all that stuff. So he was a house guest, staying with the aunt. Then at the same time, well, Susan was still in high school. So I was like, oh, wait a second, Reed. You gonna get yourself in prison. But anyway, she graduated from high school and she was a good swimmer. She was on the swim team and she moved to California to attend college. And that's when she runs into Reed Richards once again. But this time they become romantically involved with each other. Well, la di da. Johnny Storm is the human torch. Now, there's not much to say about Johnny other than, well, he sues little brother and he can be a little immature at times. However, when it comes to his family and if they need him, or heck, if the world needs him, he definitely knows how to step up to the plate and get the job done. Ben Grimm is the thing. Now, Ben was born on Manhattan's Lower East Side in New York, and unfortunately, he grew up in poverty. Not only did he grow up poor, but his father was an alcoholic, and his father couldn't hold down a steady job. But have no fear, because Ben had a older brother named Daniel, and it was through Daniel that the family was able to survive. However, Daniel was a gang member. That's how he was getting his money. And unfortunately, Daniel was killed in a gang fight. And at the time, Ben was only 8 years old. And what happened was Ben followed in the footsteps of his older brother, and he became leader of the same gang that his brother was in. But then the next thing you know, Ben's parents die. So then that's when Ben is taken in by his uncle Jake. And Jake, man, let me tell you something. Ben got lucky because his uncle Jake is a very successful physician. So it took some time for Ben to kind of soften up a little bit, but he did. And he grew to love his uncle and all that good stuff. It's like a fairy tale. And so in high school, he became this football star. And the next thing you know, he gets a scholarship and he goes to college in New York. And guess what? That's when he gets a roommate. And of course, we know That roommate is Reed. Introducing Herbie! Yay! Now let's talk about Herbie the robot. Now, Herbie did not make a comic book appearance until August of 1979. Boy, that's a long stretch from the time the Fantastic Four was first created. And Herbie was created by none other than Mr. Fantastic and Master XR. And I know I probably pronounced it wrong, but it's spelled XAR. I'm going to say Master X. So why don't we do that? Herbie was created by Mr. Fantastic himself, Reed Richards, and Master X, who hoped that the robot could aid their search for the bad guy called Galactus. And Herbie has a lot of features. Herbie has the ability to connect to any computer system. He also possesses all types of generators and lasers, and he has all these hidden features and all these hidden tools. So, yes, Herbie is greatly needed. It's almost like he's like a walking toolbox or something, right? Or a garage or something like that. But yeah, definitely needed. Okay, well, you know what they say. You have heroes and then you have villains. So let's talk about the villain. And his name is Galactus. Wow, what a name. And he was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and he made his first comic book appearance back in March of 1966. So, who is he exactly? Well, he used to be a human, just like the rest of us, but now he has become this cosmic entity and he consumes other planets in order to sustain himself. So he just drains other planets of just all of their resources in order for him to stay alive. And, his origin stories vary. Some say, he was a human, he was a space explorer, but then he got a little too close to a star, and that changed him forever. Then some say, well, he was always in the universe, like he was always a part of the universe. So who knows? All we know is he chomps on other planets. I guess you could say he's like a Pac Man in outer space. Shalabal, otherwise known as the Silver Surfer. Now, the Silver Surfer was first introduced in March of 1966, the same time as Galactus. Now, in the movie, the Silver Surfer is someone who is like trying to save her planet because Galactus is hungry. He needs energy. And it's like, please, please do not eat my planet. And he's like, why not? I'm hungry. I need energy. I'm eating your planet. So it's like, well, wait a second. I can help you. I can help you search for other planets to feed on. Just leave mine alone. So Galactus is like, okay, you convinced me. So now what the Silver Surfer does is, well, gets on their little surfboard and literally surfs the universe in search of planets for Galactus to feed on. It's like, oh man, what an existence, right? But then again, this saves her planet from destruction. So there you go. So that is the Silver Surfer. And why am I whispering? I don't know. And last, but certainly not least, Baby Franklin! Woohoo! Okay, so I got you familiar a little bit with the characters, but there's one thing we don't know, and that is how did they become the Fantastic Four? Well, you're going to find out. Okay, so Reed Richards, he receives $2 billion from his dad. Yeah, $2 billion. And not only that, he got federal funding from the government. So now he is like, I can build my dream spacecraft. This is what I want to do. And remember, you see in the picture his best friend Ben. Ben is was always like, "Hey, count me in." Because at this point, Ben has, already graduated from college and he joined the Air Force to become a pilot, and he also became an astronaut as well. Well, guess what happened, you guys? The government decided, well, we might withdraw funding from your project. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards, we may have to withdraw funding. But guess what? Reed is like, I don't care. I'm still going into space. So, I may have to do this unauthorized. Sorry, but I'm going. And his friend Ben is kind of like, I don't know about that. Do you think we should do this? And Reed is like, yep, we're going. And Sue is like, well, I want to go. And her little brother's like, yeah, I want to go too. So here we go. The four of them getting ready to go up in space. And let the countdown begin. As you can see, they are all suited and booted and ready to go. Okay, so all four of them go up in space and they get exposed to cosmic radiation. And because of this, now they have gained superpowers. Now, Mr. Fantastic himself, he now possesses the ability to stretch his body and he can contort it into all kinds of different shapes and all of that good stuff, right? And Sue is now, well, she can render herself invisible and she can also generate these very powerful force fields. And her brother, Johnny, he is now basically a human torch. He can engulf himself in flames, he can project fire, and he can fly. And then there's Ben. Now, Ben has superhuman strength. He has durability, but he's almost like a rock. You've seen him, he's thick and he's like a rock. And yeah, to me, I'm sorry, Ben got the short end of the stick right here. I mean, gosh, man. But anyway, so now they are the Fantastic Four. And now this team uses their powers to protect the world from all types of threats. Okay, so the movie starts kind of a little something like this. It's been 4 years since their, I guess you would call, accident. So they've been superheroes for the past 4 years, and they don't hide the fact that they're superheroes. It's not like they're like Batman or Spider Man hiding out. Nope, the whole world knows that they are superheroes. So the movie starts out with Sue and Reed. Now they're married now, right? So anyway, he's looking for something in the bathroom. She's in the bathroom and she slides him over a pregnancy test. And guess what? Reed, you are the father. And both of them are surprised and happy at the same time because they had been trying to have a baby for 2 years and it has finally come true for them. So they are happy and nervous at the same time. So anyway, they get dressed. They're a little late for dinner. And Johnny and Ben are like, what's going on with you two? So, okay, so they tell him, hey, Sue's pregnant. So everybody's happy and the world is a better place. And the media is in a frenzy because they want to know, wow, is the baby, is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a superhero? What is the baby going to look like? And in the meantime, Reed is a little busy because he's trying to track down some sound that's coming from space, but he can't decipher it. So, in the meantime, he's trying to figure that out. However, at the same time, he's also going to be a dad. And he is very nervous because he doesn't think the baby is, what is a baby gonna look like and this and that. And so Sue uses her superpowers to kind of like show him the baby, kind of like her own ultrasound. And so then Reed sees the baby, and the baby looks healthy and looks normal. So he can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, so the next thing you know, they're getting ready to have dinner. But then all of a sudden they look up in the sky and they see something, but they can't quite make out exactly what it is. And this is what they see. Can you imagine looking up in the night sky and seeing this? It's like, what is that? And not only does the Fantastic Four see this, the whole city is looking up at the sky trying to figure out what the heck is this? What's going on? So now the being, as you can see, is literally hovering over the city. And it's like, what the heck is this? And by now, the Fantastic Four, they're out in the street just like with everybody else. And this person right here, well, we know as the Silver Surfer, is looking at the Fantastic Four, wanting to know, are you the ones that are protecting this particular planet? Sue was like, yep. And Reed is looking at her like, shh, don't tell her that. And look at the media. The media's out there with their cameras, their boom mics, and everybody's just trying to figure out what is going on. And basically, the Silver Surfer is telling them, enjoy your life now because your planet will be destroyed shortly. Hmm. She is definitely a Debbie Downer, isn't she? And as you can see, the Fantastic Four, I mean, look at them. They're just looking like totally helpless, right? And poor Sue, bless her heart. It looks like she's going to deliver her baby any minute. And everybody's just like, gosh, what the heck are we going to do? And Johnny's like, oh, hell no. Who is this lady coming to our planet saying, you know, your planet will be destroyed? Goodbye. So what he does is he uses his superpowers and he goes into space to try to, because she speeds off and he's like, oh, no, no, no. You need to come back and explain yourself. But then she turns around and boom, kicks him right back down to Earth. So now the Fantastic Four, they're scrambling, trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. And this that Silver Surfer person did mention someone named Galactus. And Reed has managed to track down every single planet that the Silver Surfer has been in contact with. And guess what, you guys? They all have been destroyed. So now, Reed, he's like, you know what? That Silver Surfer being, I believe everything she said. I do believe someone named Galactus will come down and destroy Earth, and we can't let that happen. So I made us some new suits, and we are going back into space. So here they are, folks, the Fantastic Four, and they are telling the world, don't worry, we're launching ourselves in space and we are going to save our planet. And as you can see, everybody's cheering, they're happy, they're like, yes, the Fantastic Four is going to save the day. And this is a nerve-wracking part. Woo! Going back up into space. Okay, so now they're up in space, and what they're trying to do is they are trying to look for the Silver Surfer because they feel if they find the Silver Surfer, she will lead them to Galactus. And Sue was looking out into space. Oh, a planet. Boom! In just a few seconds, she watches it be destroyed. And that's when, if she wasn't nervous before, she is very nervous now. And look who comes on the scene. No need to look any further because Silver Surfer just comes on their spaceship, okay? And she's all red and stuff. And she's like, follow me. I'll lead you to Galactus. And then Johnny, he's like, where are we going? And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Galactus. And the Fantastic Four are actually shocked at how big he is. They're totally taken aback. And he's trying to reassure them, hey, don't worry. A million years ago, I look just like you. It's like, yeah, that's very reassuring, right? And then he notices Sue is pregnant. Mm-mm-mm. And he believes the child holds secret powers. And he believes the child is going to be powerful. So he tells the Fantastic Four, I'm going to make a deal with you guys. Give me that baby, and I won't destroy your planet. Now, come on, you guys. You really think the Fantastic Four? What do you think they said? They said, hell yeah. No, no, they didn't. They were like, no way. You're not getting the baby, and you are definitely not destroying our planet. So then the next thing you know, Galactus, he kind of like induces Sue's labor. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then Johnny, he tries to stop Galactus, with his flames and all of that. He slowed him down, but, he didn't like kill him or anything. But at the same time, he slowed them down enough for them to run and get the hell out of there. But while Johnny was trying to defeat Galactus, he got injured, so Ben has to carry him, and now Sue, she's going into labor, and they're just trying to hurry up to get back to the ship. So they get back to the ship, and whoa, look at that picture. Look at the Silver Surfer. She's just inches away trying to grab the baby, but she doesn't make it. What happens is they send her off into, how can I say it? Into some kind of gravity field. So she'll stay there for maybe about few weeks or something like that. So they were able to get away temporarily. Okay, and what do we have here? So they get back to Earth. And everybody, the crowd is cheering and screaming because first they're shocked, like, oh my God, Sue had her baby in space. And they're like, not only did Sue have her baby in space, they defeated the bad guys. Yay for Fantastic Four! They saved us. But as we know, that's not quite what happened. So Reed has to tell the whole world, nope, we didn't save planet Earth. And he tells them, they're like, look, that guy or that being wanted my child. And I said, no, I'm not going to bargain with my baby. The answer is no, I'm not going to trade my baby in order to save the planet. Well, that didn't go over well. Now, literally, the whole world is upset with the Fantastic Four because they're like, you should have gave, you should have sacrificed your baby for the planet, okay? So it's like, wow, it's like the crowds are like, Fantastic Four, no more. So Sue is like, I'm not having this. So she actually takes her baby through a crowd of people and she explains to them, I'm not giving up my baby, period. But me and the rest of the crew were still, basically, we're going to save the planet. But I am never sacrificing my child. So I guess the world is like, okay, we get you, Sue. Crazy, right? Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic himself, the smartest man in the world. Okay, if Reed is supposed to be the smartest man on the planet, and I'm not doubting that, I'm just saying, how did he forget about the Silver Surfer? Because remember, they kind of like put her in some kind of, I don't want to say suspended animation for about a month. Well, it has expired. So all of the bridges that the whole world worked together to create, she's just destroying them one by one. Then there's only one left. And that's when Johnny is like, "Oh hell no." So he uses his fiery powers to fly up in space cuz he's like, "Wait, wait, wait. I got to talk to her." Okay, so Johnny catches up with her And he tells her, I know this is not the real you. And he was also telling her that now he can understand her language so he can communicate with her. Because towards the beginning of the movie, Reed was trying to decipher some kind of transmission in space. And Johnny was trying to tell the Fantastic Four, I think I can try to decipher it. And they're like, yeah, whatever. They kind of brushed the kid off, but he spent some time deciphering it. So now he kind of knows her language and he's letting her know, you are better than this. I know you are. And so she's kind of looking at him like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And as you can see, Silver Surfer was not always Silver Surfer. Here she is on her home planet with the child, and we're going to assume that's her daughter. And out of the blue, Galactus comes and he wants to basically suck her planet dry. He wants to just basically eat her planet. And so, in order to save her planet, she kind of agrees to become like his spokesperson, his hype man, his ride or die, basically. So, yep, that's what she agrees to in order to save her planet. And Johnny has her listen to all the destruction that she has helped create, all of the noise from the other planets that have been destroyed. And as you can see, look at the top picture. She's just can't take it. And the next thing you know, she is just she surfs away, and you can see her now just standing in front of the moon. She's like, I cannot take this. Okay, so Silver Surfer is gone for now, I guess. So now they still have a dilemma. What are they going to do? Because now they can't move the planet anymore because they only have one teleportation bridge left. But have no fear because the smartest man on earth is here and he has a plan. So he's like, well, you know what? Instead of us moving, why don't we try to get Galactus to come to Earth and then we'll kind of like trap him in that last, you know, teleportation bridge. Sounds like a good plan, but the question is, who are they going to use as bait to try to get Galactus? Hmm. Is it gonna be him? Is it gonna be the Thing, Sue, Johnny? I mean, who? Yeah, baby Franklin will be the bait. Anybody have their cell phone? Because I think we need to call Child Protective Services. We'll see how this works out. And guess what? It's not only they're going to use him as bait, they don't have a lot of time. When I say they don't have a lot of time, I mean they have less than 1 minute to put all this together. Oh, and in case you're wondering where are all the people in the city, they have all went underground for their safety because Mole Man, who's kind of like a villain, I guess you would say, you don't see him that much in the movie, but he agrees to help them. And so yeah, so everybody is underground. So look at this. Their plan is working because Galactus has arrived on Earth and he is massive. So the Thing, of course, being super strong, he throws a car at Galactus. Ah, didn't even harm him. Not at all. Not even a scratch. But that's okay because we have Johnny and Johnny tries to set him on fire. Well, that didn't work either.
Oh
And
no.
as you
And as
can
you can
see,
see,
Mr. Fantastic
oh
is not
no, Mr.
looking fantastic at
Fantastic.
all.
Oh
Look at
no.
how he is
He's
being
not working
stretched.
either. Look
So,
at how
yeah, it
Galactus
looks
is just
like this
stretching him
plan is
out.
failing.
Oh, and
But
you
then
know it is
again,
extremely painful.
where's Sue?
And
And look at him with that evil smile
and
on his
as you
face.
can
He's
see,
like,
Mr.
seriously, this is all you
Fantastic
got?
is not
Come
looking
on.
fantastic
But then
at
again,
all. We
look
still
at
have
how
Sue,
he
right?
is being stretched. You guys, Sue is dead. And I'm not joking. She is dead. She used up all her energy and all her might to save her child. And this is the outcome. So the question is this really the end? Is the Fantastic Four no more? Well, I guess you'll just have to watch the movie and find out. Well, no movie is perfect, right? So let's go into while I was watching the movie or any afterthoughts. What was my take? What was the problem? Or were there any problems at all? Let's find out. Well, I kind of had a problem with the thing. Well, I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's just that, well, actually, I think the movie did an excellent job portraying just how depressing it is to be the thing. Because think about it. All the other characters, they can hide their superpowers and they can use them whenever they want. I mean, they can walk down the street and not get noticed, but not the thing. And then there were some kids, they were so nice. They were like, lift this car. So, he lifts the car for the kids. They're happy, like, yes. And then there were some school children. And then their teacher was like, looked like she was trying to talk to the thing. It's like, it looks like he might have a little girlfriend. But then at one point in the movie, he's just walking the street and he's kind of just sad because, well, I mean, he's the thing. So I don't think, you know, and I guess what I'm trying to say is the movie, I didn't understand it. Maybe it's an editing thing. I didn't understand. It looks like that teacher kind of was taking a liking to him a little bit, but like what happened? Like, and I know this is not supposed to be a romance or anything, but I kind of just felt like, okay, like how did she know him previously or what? So anyway, that I didn't understand. But maybe you comic book people understand. I don't. And this character right here, the Mole Man. Now, he's like a bad guy, but he didn't strike me as being like a bad guy like Galactus. You know what I mean? So I wish maybe I could have had a little more about him because I don't know, maybe it was editing. Once again, I didn't kind of get why he was needed in the movie other than when Galactus came on Earth, Mole Man was needed so everyone in the city can be evacuated. And because he is the Mole Man, he knew how to hide them underground. And he became a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. So, yeah, maybe just a minute or two of, a little background on him would have helped. But yeah. And the only other critique I have is more action. I loved these two, I guess, villains, as you would call them. I mean, excellent. I mean, I understood their backstories perfectly well. It wasn't extremely complicated. I just wanted to see more action. Okay, so as you can see, I really didn't have a lot of critiques about the movie. So let's get into the likes. What did I like about the movie? First of all, the movie looks absolutely beautiful. It literally looks like a comic book come to life. Because I'm going to tell you, I've told you before, I don't know much about these superhero movies. I'm not even familiar with the Fantastic Four. When I was a kid, the cartoons, because there was like a Fantastic Four cartoon, I think from like the 1960s maybe or something. Anyway, the reruns would come on when I was a kid. And I liked them, whatever. It wasn't bad. So when I was watching the movie, I was like, "Whoa, this is really a comic book and a cartoon come to life." I loved it. Not only that, I love the dynamic of the family. Because sometimes with the movies, you have a family and it's kind of like, it is what it is. It looks like just some actors pretending to be a family. But this, I really felt it. Not only that, I really felt for them. It's like, oh no, I hope they're going to be all right. And I really got invested in the actual characters. So that is what I loved. And I also loved the fact that it was kind of like, I don't know, it seemed like they were like a family first and superheroes second. So I really loved it, the dynamic, and come on, Sue gives birth in zero gravity. Now that I was shocked about because when Sue becomes pregnant, I thought her character was kinda gonna be pushed away a little bit, and okay, she's pregnant, so she can't do anything. So, okay, now it's gonna be, focused on the men. But no, Sue was there during the pregnancy, after the pregnancy. I'm like, "Oh my god." So she was right there with them, and I liked it because it was toughness. I don't know, it was like toughness mixed with femininity at the same time. So I don't know, I can't explain it, but I was like, "Whoa, this is very interesting." Oh, and also too, not a lot of corny dialogue. There's nothing worse. I know you guys have seen it in different action movies over the years where, okay, it looks like the good guy is gonna die, and he says something like, "Oh, well, I guess I won't have dinner tonight." Something stupid. It's like, come on. Well, in this movie, you don't get a lot of that corny dialogue. It's like, thank God, because that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of they were going to go up against Galactus and they're like, oh, well, I guess our weekend trip is canceled. You know what I mean? Something corny like that. But they had a couple little corny jokes here and there, but nothing, it was great. I don't know whoever wrote the dialogue, uh, did an excellent job. So, yep. And gosh, let me see. Yeah, I liked all the main characters. Yeah, they seem very human. Oh, and let me see what else. Oh, yes, and the story was very easy to follow. Okay. So if you don't know anything about superheroes and these parallel universes and stuff like this, don't panic. I don't either. This movie is very simple to follow. It's very straightforward. You already know the origin real quick of the Silver Surfer. Galactus, you already know he used to be human. Now he gobbles up different planets in order to survive. Very simple. Fantastic Four, the reason why they're superheroes. Hey, bad accident in space. They came back weird. Okay. So very, very easy to follow. And baby Franklin, look at that. Oh, I just want to just pinch those little cheeks. Yes, I do. Not Mr. Fantastic. I'm talking about baby Franklin. What a sweetie. And the thing is, sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes when you have babies and children in movies, it kind of slows down the movie a little bit. And sometimes they become the main part of the movie. I hate to say that, but say, for instance, if you're looking at a horror film and there's like a child involved or a baby, you kind of already know, okay, this movie is not going to be that scary. You understand what I'm saying? But baby Franklin, oh, what a sweetie, excellent job. I mean, even with, baby Franklin's character, that's the thing, everybody's character wasn't overpowering, you know what I mean? It was like I couldn't even tell you who was like the quote unquote leader of the pack because they all work together as a family. And that is what I really, really enjoyed. All right. And another thing I wanted to add is the fact that humans don't get in the way. This is great. When I say humans don't get in the way, this movie is very focused on the Fantastic Four. And the thing I also liked about it was the quote unquote humans. They loved the Fantastic Four. They were grateful for them. Now, of course, though, the part where they wanted Sue to sacrifice her baby, I don't know about all that. But anyway, oh gosh, but other than that, in the movie you see like these commercials where the kids, "Thank you, Fantastic Four," and it's like, whoa, it felt real. That's the thing. It's kind of like, oh my God, I want the Fantastic Four to be real, please. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I definitely had to add that. So and also too, when I say this is set on Earth, it's kinda like a different Earth because in the movie, it's kinda futuristic and 1960s at the same time. So it kinda is a different sort of Earth. But anyway, you get the gist. So you know what? Why don't we take a little bit of time and we'll go behind the scenes. All right, the director, Matt Shakeman. And this guy, he's like not even 50. I think he's like 49. Excellent, excellent work. And I think too, well, at least this is what I do. Whenever I watch a movie, I always like to see, who did this and that behind the scenes because you'd be surprised at some other things that they have done, or you'll be surprised, like, what? This is their first time doing a movie. So I don't know. Just for me, I always like to do all this little bit of research and stuff like that. And I suggest you guys do the same. I don't know. To me, it's kind of fun. But thanks, Matt. And look at this cast. This cast was amazing. And the interesting thing about this movie is the fact that it's a very small cast. So you don't have, like 30 or 40 people, all these characters trying to keep up with them. Okay, now she does what, he does what, I'm glad it's a very tight knit cast and they all did an excellent job. So I suggest you look them all up because you know these people. Well, I don't know if you know them, but what I mean is if you watch movies, TV shows, things of that nature, you've seen them before. Some of them you may not think you've seen before, but you've seen them before. I'll give you a perfect example. Natasha Leone, hope I pronounce her last name correctly, who played Rachel Rosman. She had a small role in this movie. She was like the teacher that the thing was kind of liking, you know? Well, anyway, back in the day, I'm talking, I think about 1998, she played in this movie that I really, really liked. It was called Slums of Beverly Hills. Oh my god. Basically, it's about this kinda like older dad. He's raising 2 sons and, like, a daughter, but he kinda wants them he can't afford to live in Beverly Hills, but he's trying hard to to try to live on the outskirts of Beverly Hills. They're looking at apartments. Oh my god, it is that movie is a trip. You gotta check that movie out. But that's what I mean. So, yeah, excellent, excellent cast, and I hope they don't change the cast. I really enjoyed this movie so much. It's like, just keep everything the way it is. Please, please, please. Oh, and like I said before, the look of this movie is absolutely amazing. I love that mid-century futuristic look. Oh my gosh. Come on. Let's check it out. There you have the kitchen. I'll give you a few seconds to kind of drink it all in. And look at the colors. I love the color scheme. You know, you got the brown, not too dark brown, but a little dark brown with the turquoise, with the white. Oh, and look at that. Is that a record player or what is that? I mean, and look at the rugs. Very, very nice. The bedroom. Ooh, check it out. I love it, love it, love it. And look at baby Franklin's room. Look at that view. Man, I'll take the baby's room. Look at that. Very, very beautiful, and I love the colors too. And would you like a drink? Man, check that out. It's kinda like it's not too big and it's not too small. It's, like, just right for a nice little intimate setting. And look at the smartest man in the world. Wow, look at him at work. Isn't that beautiful? I love all of the colors and wow, look at that. It does look like a comic book that has come to life. And look at this. I love it. Look at all this room you have. First of all, look at your TV right there in the middle. Look at you talk about a sectional. Oh my god. Look at this, and I love the color scheme. Wow, really, really nice. And the bathroom. Look at that bathroom. Now, do you guys like that little, half circle? Do you like that? I kinda like it. Something different. Yeah, you got the green with a little bit of yellow, and you notice you still have that, what is it? Kinda like the wood there. Yeah, I like it. Heck, I'll take it. And here's another view of the kitchen. God, I really like the kitchen. Damn, I even like look at the pots and pans up there. I even like that. And it's kinda like it's not a big giant kitchen, but look at the way it's spaced out. It's kinda like you have plenty of space to move around in. So I like that. And I don't even cook a lot. I don't even cook a lot and I like it. Man, look at that. So nice. Ooh, and look at this. It's like, hey, you want to listen to a little bit of music, with your cocktails, sit there and relax. Oh, and look, and behind those curtains, it's a beautiful, beautiful view. Oh, and another thing that this movie does, which I absolutely love, is it seems like these characters, they really are real. Cause look at this, you have, um, Mr. Fantastic here because he is an inventor, a scientist. And look, he's on the cover of a magazine, School of Science. And look, and it looks real, right? And look at him here. He's a spokesperson for a suit. Look, that fantastic fit that stretches with your every move. Oh, I love it. And look at Johnny Storm, he's a young one. Look at that. Join the Flaming Hearts fan club. Okay, now that's a little corny, no, but I like it. Oh boy. Oh god, and look at these gloves. They'll never see you coming. Oh god. I am really enjoying this. And here we have Johnny again. Look at him promoting some aftershave. Aftershave with no afterburn. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, forget what I said about this movie being corny. No, just kidding. Nah, I like this little corniness. It's cool. I like it. And of course, we can't forget the thing. See, I didn't even know he was a gardener. But look, he's on the cover of a gardening magazine. You gotta love it. Well, you guys, this comes to the end of the feature. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. This is a new movie, so there are hundreds and thousands of people on social media reviewing this movie, critiquing it, and some of them have, all these professional pictures and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but I thank you for taking the time, to spend with me and, my little ghetto setup I got here. No, I really enjoy it, and I really enjoyed watching this movie, and I really, really enjoyed talking about it. So this is a movie I definitely, recommend for you guys. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate that very, very much. And remember, you guys, I do have a book. Go check it out. You can find it on Amazon. It is called The Creeping Things. Yes, ooh, and other tales of madness and mayhem. Go ahead and check it out. It's a quick read, it's an easy read. It's 31 short stories. So go ahead and check it out. And not only that, when you do purchase my book, and it's inexpensive by the way, let me know what your favorite story is. I'm really interested in your feedback. So thank you guys so much. You guys take care. And until next time, when we meet again. See you. Bye.